I'm sure of it.
Welcome, everyone, to Intensity Broadcasting for the iRacing Superstock League Superspeedway Series, sponsored by Fort Worth Screen Printing. Tonight we will be at virtual Daytona International Speedway for 30 heart-pounding laps in the Gander Outdoor Trucks. I'm your announcer, Atlee Atman-Weiss, and joining me to call the action is experienced iRacer, Dustin Dean. How you doing tonight, Dustin?
I'm doing good. Ready to see some super speedway heat racing here at Daytona. Got the trucks coming out here, like you said, 30 laps, two 15-lappers with heat racing, and that always provides some extra action.
And tonight's race is sponsored by Fort Worth Screen Printing. Since 1997, Fort Worth Screen Printing has provided quality screen printing services to promotional products, distributors, marketing firms, advertising agencies, and users throughout the United States. Fort Worth Screen Printing is the official apparel supplier of Mike Harmon Racing and Rickwar Racing, which are two big NASCAR teams. If you are in need of quality screen printed t-shirts, please look them up on Facebook at Fort Worth Screen Printing or find them online at fwscreen.com.
Yeah, and these heat races, we've done a few of them. We've done 3 or 4 of them at least at this point, and I think we're starting to see a trend here, is that these drivers that take it really, really aggressive early on in the heat races, it does not usually turn out good for them. The ones we're talking about here are the ones that take it 3 wide when it's really not that necessary, or if it's super early in the race. It's just not necessary, and we've seen it bite a few drivers a time or two, and hopefully these drivers tonight have learned that, and they're going to be a little less aggressive here, at least at the start of it, hopefully.
And if you are new to the iRacing Super Stock League Superspeedway Series, the format, we've 45 max entries. I am not sure if we did hit that full field.
From what I'm hearing, there is 43 drivers here with us tonight.
All right, so that was the NASCAR originally before they changed it. Well, since I started watching before they changed it, it was 43. 43 is a pretty good number. And we're going to have 5 advance from qualifying. So we got qualifying coming up right here. So the top 5 won't even have to worry about heat races. Then 10 will be advancing from Heat 1, and 10 will be advancing from Heat 2. And then there will be 25 total cars starting the feature.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And so what you have the opportunity to do here is just be able to go into these heat races just as a spectator, just like me and you are, and not have to worry about the wrecks, not have to worry about anything, not have to worry about crazy drivers that paid money here tonight, but just be able to go out and watch what's unfolding. And as we talk about almost every week, really find out who's going to be the biggest help to you out there. I know for a lot of drivers, they don't race against these people on a regular basis, right? This is a pay-to-play league, and so they pay money every week. And so for that reason, we do have different drivers, it seems like, every week, and you don't always know the people around you. But what this really helps you do if you're in that top 5 is just take a little time off, let the craziness go on and the chaos go on, and you get to find out who's good and who's not.
Right, that provides. And speaking of drivers, tonight's field is packed with a lot of good drivers. So who do you have your eye on tonight that could potentially put on a show?
I don't know. As I'm sitting here looking at the practice speeds, for whatever reason, I've been watching in the last couple of weeks, looking at James Bratzer. He's running that 7 truck tonight. I'm excited to see what he's going to do. I know we've seen Matthew T. Lee up front trying to make a run at things. In fact, I think he finished 3rd or 2nd last week, and so we know he's capable of doing it. The question is, can he do it?
Yeah, for me, I'm going to be watching, not just because of the number, but 78 is my favorite number, Raymond Ridenour II. He has been up front in a lot of these races, so I'm excited to see what he's going to show off in that Lucky Dogs number Chevrolet Silverado.
Yeah, I do remember he had a bad week last week, and I say bad, more unlucky than anything, as he got caught up in a couple accidents there and unfortunately finished not on the lead lap. But that just goes to show you anything can happen. Right now we're looking at some qualifying times come through. We got Curtis Critchley up there, and we talked a lot about him last week. He's sitting there in the That's exactly right. So that's why we talked a lot about him last week. Sitting there in the 2nd spot now, Brandon Gagnon taking that top spot away from him. But as more laps come through, I think it'll be changing up a little bit.
Right. Still a lot of people need to get on the board, including Raymond Ridenour. Oh, he jumped to... Oh, we got a new person on top, Aaron Smith II. In the 70 machine. He's had a 52.32 and currently is in the lead for that pole position.
Yep, you just saw him disappear. He's off of the track now. He's done with qualifying, so that time will be his final time. Got Jerry Banty in that 18 sitting in second spot. Brandon Gagnon remains there in third, followed by Curtis Critchley, like we talked about earlier. Um, Not all the cars are finished, so we might have. So, in fact, there we do. Dude Conrad taking the top spot right there in the 8 truck, 52.309. He is your pole sitter as of right now. I think a few more trucks still to qualify.
Dude Conrad was actually in Tuesday night's race at the Superspeedway Kings, and he is one of the best Superspeedway drivers.
Oh, I don't doubt it. We talked about him last week. Him being another one of those drivers that had some bad luck there in the final laps last week. Um, but he was a contender. I'll say that. He was there the whole time, and you knew he was going to be there. So I have no doubts that he'll be the same way tonight. It looks like all the trucks are finishing up. That may be it.
We've got Jake Jensen, Max
There you
McClure,
go.
Jonathan Thompson, Corey Deal. But in 30 seconds, we are going to be doing the national anthem.
Yeah, and I know some drivers will probably choose to not qualify. They'll start in the back and try to avoid the wrecks. As always, I'm not a big fan of that plan, but hey, to each their own. It's their $25 they spent to enter tonight.
Right, and there's so many different strategies that these drivers have. But first, that's just for the race. Heat race strategies are also very crazy just because it's 15 laps, which is, if you think about it, it seems long considering it's a 2-mile track, but at the same time, it's a very short period of time.
That's exactly right. And so we will come back to you as we get ready to do the national anthem here. We'll come back and update your top 5.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
We are back after the performance of the national anthem, and looks like as we look at the board, nothing has changed in first. Dude Conrad is still there. Aaron Smith the second in second. Matthew T. Lee third. Jerry Banty fourth. And Justin Botello fifth.
Yeah, and there are a few trucks still out there qualifying. I don't think that they're going to have an effect on that top 5. I'm not sure why they waited so long to qualify, but hey, they're out there. They can still do it, as we see. Matthew T. Lee just made a second lap there, and it did not improve him. He's still in the third position. And you see another driver rounding up his qualifying efforts.
Like pretty much everybody that is going to turn a qualifying lap has done so.
Yeah, the only truck I see is Travis Turnmeyer in the 54. Looks like he's maybe doing his second lap right now. He is. That's the last truck I see.
Now, we are going to take a look at the payouts for tonight's event. Got $300 to first, $180 to second, $135 to third, $115 for fourth, and $100 for fifth. And if you get that first position, that's a pretty good payday for a Friday night.
Oh yeah, $25 to enter, $300 to win. I'll take that. Potentially $370 with the cleanest driver award. So yeah, a lot of money to be made tonight. So if you're thinking about maybe potentially, hey, I want to suit up, I want to get in a truck, and I want to come join these guys, you can do that. You can reach out to iRacing Superstock League. You can Ian Martin, sorry. Yeah, you can reach out to Ian. He'll be glad to have you. And we might be calling your name next week.
Right, they're very fun events, especially if you like super speedway racing.
Yeah, it is one of a kind thing. Add in heat races to that, and you've got a real mix on your hands. But you'll see just how treacherous it can be, as only the top 10, like Atlee said earlier, only the top 10 from each heat will make it into the feature, making it 25 drivers total. And hopefully it will be the cleanest and best drivers into this final feature here.
Right, from the heat races, I feel like the cream definitely rises to the top in the heat races and advance to the feature. But here we go, we're gridding for heat race number 1. Got Jimmy Crow Jr. starting on the pole in this race, Brandon Gagnon starting second, Raymond Ridenour third, Christian Sanford fourth. Then rounding out the top 5 is Jason Nethery. 6th is Colin Willems. 7th, Crystal King. 8th is Kyle Harbin. Starting 9th is Dustin Koffel. Starting 10th is Bill Watkins. 11th is James Batzer. 12th is the 39 of Max McClure. 13th is J.R. Deal. 14th, Carl Staton. Starting 15th is the 15 of Austin Trombley. 16th is Ismael Martinez. 17th, Jacob Greiner. 18th is Rick Cole. And 19th is Bruce Spragg.
Yeah, so that's 19 trucks coming out here. Remember, only the top 10 will advance. And let's take a look at these stats we have for tonight's race.
77 degrees, 56% humidity, partly cloudy, 2 miles per hour. Pretty good for some Friday night races at Daytona.
Not too shabby. Hope some of these folks aren't too cold out here on a hot January night in Daytona.
Yeah, I actually wonder how warm it is actually in Daytona. If we can get someone potentially maybe on Facebook, tell us what it is in Daytona in real life. We'd love to know that. Before this heat race, speaking of Facebook and YouTube and Twitch, make sure to share it. We can get some exposure to the drivers, the league, the sponsor. And if you share it, you might find someone else that enjoys these races just as much as you do.
So, of course, I had to look it up, Atlee. It's 67 degrees right now in Daytona Beach, Florida.
It's only 10 degrees off. That isn't too bad.
Not too bad. I thought it would be more of a difference, but it's pretty good out there. As these trucks roll down the backstretch, rail, whatever, they go down the backstretch. You see them double file there. The pace car lights are off, meaning we will go green for the first heat here this time around. I'm thinking it's going to be a good race here. I feel like the intensity is going to be really up really quick.
We have 2 great drivers starting on the front row in Jimmy Crow Jr. and Brandon Gagnon. I'm excited to see what those 2 can bring.
Yeah, definitely. My money's on Duke Conrad here, sitting there on the pole position. Oh, what am I saying? I'm for Duke Conrad. I am excited for him to be in the feature. That's what I meant to say.
So here we go. Waiting for that pace car. They picked the default for tonight. I feel like a car goes good, of course it's trucks. And there we go. Pace car is going to dance on down. And we are green here at Daytona International Speedway. Going across the line first is Jimmy Crow, and he's going to clear Brandon Gagnon on the high side. Looks like the 35 of Christian Sanford is going to go up to the high side as well. It looks like both Brandon Gagnon and Sanford are going to go back down to the bottom.
Yeah, that inside line really strong here on the start. And I think maybe that might be the key here tonight. If everybody can just stay single file, I think they'll be okay here. Doing a pretty good job of it now as they head down the backstretch into turn 3.
I'm wondering who's going to be that first car to go up to the high side. We have a few people in the back going up there, and we might see if they can make their way up to the front.
Yeah, it usually takes a good lap, maybe a lap and a half before these engines really get up to the max RPMs. And that's when you'll see the momentum start to swing the other way on the outside of the high line. And you'll see some drivers start to pick up there. But right now, everybody seems to be comfortable down on the inside line, making it work. Maybe just feeling each other out, trying to get a sense of what's going to be coming tonight.
Right, because they know if they want to be there in the end and have a chance to make it into the feature, then they're going to have to save their car.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You can't go 3 wide on the first lap and expecting to win this thing when there's still 14 to go.
It looks like we are seeing some people. Crystal King is leading that high side.
Yeah, trying to make it work. Got Kyle Harbinson right beside him right now, trying to make it work out there. They might get, and there it is. I was about to say they might get some more trucks up there and get that outside line rolling, and they got 3 right now.
And now that leader, I believe, it's the 17 of Colin Willems, and there goes somebody else. That's Brandon Gagnon.
Yeah, looking really good on that high line right now. If they could get a little bit tighter and get that momentum going down the backstretch, I think they might have a run for the lead here. Maybe not. They're creeping. They're trying.
Yeah, they're making their way up there to Jimmy Crow. But the thing is, with Daytona, the width of the track to the yellow line is actually much smaller than last week where we were at was Talladega. So not a lot of space to work with.
Yeah, and sometimes that's a good thing, to be honest with you. When you're running 2 wide, that's kind of a great thing. The cars are more, or the trucks are more tighter together, and so there really is more momentum from the aero push you get from the trucks beside you. But 3 wide, that's when the trouble starts.
Brandon Gagnon has gotten up side by side with the 16 of Jimmy Crow Jr.
Oh, yeah, he's there. He's looking to make a run for it, and he does edge just ahead. He gets a nice push from the 17 right here down the backstretch. He might be able to clear him. I don't think so going into 3.
Actually, looks like No,
just barely.
If he had gone there a second too late, he probably would have clipped the front end of Jimmy Crow Jr. Good thing he stayed up there.
That's exactly right, but they do stay neck and neck here. Nobody really getting too far out. It looks like he may have a good run down the backstretch next time and may be able to clear him. They keep going here. I was about to say if they keep going, they might get it before turn 1, but they didn't. I think down the backstretch he'll get a good run off the 17, and he'll be flying solo out there in front. What do you think?
Yeah, the high side is known for getting good momentum on the back straightaway.
There's a push.
Woo, big push from Willems. They're not quite going to be able to do it on this backstretch.
No. Got a good run on the inside there. Good pushing. Man, and that's really harder to do than it looks. I know we kind of make it look easy here on Intensity Broadcasting, but it's really harder than it looks because you have to drag the brake a little bit to get that perfect push that you're looking for.
Right, and Raymond Ridenour and Colin Willems are doing a good job pushing both Brandon Gagnon and Jimmy Crow Jr. up front because a lot of the success from drivers up front is from the pusher behind them.
Oh yeah, you can't do this all by yourself. It doesn't matter how good you are. You know, it's not the times where Dale Earnhardt used to go out here and 17th to first in one lap. You can't do that anymore with these kind of cars or these kind of trucks either. And so it's different. Oh man, he is wanting to clear him so bad, you can tell. But he's just not able to do it. If they can hold this for 9 more laps here, we might have a heck of a finish on our hands.
The thing is, though, if Brandon Gackman stays where he is right now, and even if he can't get the lead, he'll still be eligible to advance to the feature.
Oh yeah. He don't care if he. I mean, obviously he wants to win, but he doesn't care if he finishes second or third or even fourth. I mean, you're in the race. That's all that matters. And so for these guys in the top 5, especially, they're content just to sit here and ride this thing out, not push it too hard and get themselves in an accident. Now, further on back, that's where I am starting to question things. You've got Carl Staton sitting in that 10th and final transfer position. That's a nervous spot to be in.
Right, those people from 9th to 12th, I'd say, they have to be getting pretty nervous. Palms are sweaty.
I mean, yeah, what are they supposed to do? Look at the track right now. Look at this from our chopper view. You see exactly what there's. I mean, they have nowhere to go. This isn't Talladega. You can't go 3 wide. And so, yeah, I'm definitely getting nervous right now if I'm them.
Right, here's right now 10th place Ismael Martinez. Austin Trombley is in 11th, and if he can get a good run right here, that'll put him in 10th.
And there it is. Got a good push from the 6 behind him. And, well, they stalled out a little bit there.
Getting down on the apron. Can he save it? Good
nice
save.
Oh, they're 3 wide, though, there for a second. I thought that was going to be something there, but everybody fans out and saved it.
It was a very good save by J.R. Deal, but that's going to put him far behind that 10th place. He's in 12th. He's going to have to make his way up pretty far if he wants to get in. Oh, that's actually a pretty good move going up to the high side.
Yeah, it looks like something happened up front there, and people checked up, and that's how quickly things can change. So I'm not too concerned if I'm in his position, but I am getting more nervous as the laps tick down. Right now we have 6.5 laps to go, coming to 6 to go this time by, and it's starting to get down to the nitty gritty here.
I feel like if there's one person who has to be concerned right now, it's Jacob Greiner in that 4 machine. He's in 18th right now, just made his way up to 17th, and he is pretty far behind from where he needs to be if he wants to get into this feature. So he's going to need to do something if he wants to make it to the feature for a chance to win $300.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and the runs can come and go, but I don't like hanging back that late or that back far. That makes me nervous there.
We've got Max McLaren, the Dustin Dean Designs.
That would be Dean's iDesigns.
Dean's Designs.
I will say this. We do have 3 green-white checkers at our disposal tonight at each heat and the feature, of course. And so hopefully we won't need them. But as we come to 5 to go, I expect that intensity just to ramp up a little bit. And that's when things start getting a little interesting because people are a whole lot more willing to take than they are give. As we see one truck down there on the apron, there is some giving there. Everybody seems to be okay, for the moment at least.
There's Dustin Koffel. He's in 13th. And if he can get by J.R. Deal on the high side, he could potentially get into contention.
Man, but like I was saying before, okay, you're that truck right there that we're following. Where do you go to get ahead? I mean,
That is true.
there's nothing you can do. I mean, unless you're forcing, gaps and forcing yourself into different lanes. Other than that, I mean, there's not much you can do. You're coming to 4 to go this time by. And everybody seemed to be just riding along right here. Go ahead, Alan.
Yeah, definitely. If you're going to want to get up there and you're in the position where you have nowhere to go, you're going to need to force the issue.
I mean, you're going to get yourself in trouble, and I know that's why everybody's kind of just being patient here, which I'm proud of. I didn't expect it, to be honest with you, after last week. But as for right now, everybody seems to be still giving. Maybe not giving as much as they were early in the race, but still giving. As we see the top two, Brandon Gagson and Jimmy Crow, sitting there just fighting it out for the top spot.
Yep, Jimmy Crow has the nose right now.
Coming to 3 to go this time by.
Yeah, the trucks can be easy to handle, but at the same time, they can be a monster.
Yeah, I think they're easy. Once you start spinning out, it's easy to save them, especially on like mile and a halves. It's the initial getting loose. They can still get loose. It's just a whole lot easier to save them, which is a good thing on mile and a halves, but a terrible thing here at Daytona. It's just terrible because you don't want to get loose at Daytona. Let me say that.
Especially if you're in like a big pack of cars, you're right, don't want to get loose. As we're now getting close to 2 to go, about to be as they cross the line.
Yeah, and just a reminder here, once they do take that white flag, next time there will not be a caution. Once that white flag is thrown and that leader takes the white flag, no other flag except the checkered will be thrown. At that point, there was some smoke in the back. Seems like everybody's okay.
Here's that 6 of JR Deal. He is in 11th right now. If he can make it by Austin Trombley on the bottom and the high side gets momentum, there we go.
Oh.
He's in 10th. But that's how close the margin is.
There's a wreck in the back.
Oh.
There's about 3 or 4 cars in the back there. Max McClure is in it.
No caution.
No caution. I think they spun into the infield, but these boys are coming to 1 lap to go. I say these boys, but there could be some ladies in there. So these drivers can take 1 lap to go, as those leaders are still neck and neck up there, but also the race for the transfer position is neck and neck as you following along there into turn 1 and 2.
Yep, right now, JR Deal, Ismael Martinez, they're that side by side between the 6 and the 13. Oh, he gets it risky, goes to the very, very high side.
He's got no
and
help.
Oh, he makes contact, and that takes out a bunch of cars.
Austin Trombley in the 15, almost up and over there, we saw.
And then there's Rick Cole. He's side by side with James Boutzer. This is the battle for that final cutoff spot.
Oh, he's got some help on the outside. He's pushing him down. I think he's going to take it. Oh, he just spun him. He's going to get there first. He's going to get there first.
Batzer.
Batzer takes it in the 7. Wow.
What a finish for that final cutoff spot. They wrecked across the finish line. I got to see a replay.
Absolutely. Let's go back and take a look at that.
Oh, my gosh. Okay.
I don't know if he was trying to do that, but he was definitely trying to cut him off a little bit. But just came down too low and went across his front bumper there. I mean, what else is he supposed to do?
Look at that. It's just turns down. Just trying to prevent him from getting on him. And right now, does he cross the finish line backwards? No. See, yes, man.
26 does, yeah. Rick Cole does.
Wow. One goes, both of them cross the finish line through the infield. Couldn't ask for any better finish than that right there. Up the races just like that.
Absolutely, man. That was an awesome finish there. I tell you what, if you're Rick Cole in that situation, you just kind of slow down and let him go across your front bumper and you keep on trucking along. But that's not what happened. He missed out on that. So the top 10 will transfer, and we're getting ready for heat number 2.
Yes, Brandon Roderick is going to be starting on the pole in this heat race. Corey Deal starting 2nd. Curtis Critchley 3rd. Travis Turnmeyer 4th. Derek Fulton starting 5th. Corey P. Miller 6th. Got John Garrett starting 7th. Matthew Baker 8th. Keith Keen Taylor 9th. Got Jay Jensen starting 10th. John Ernst 11th. Grayson Scott 12th. Heath Snyder 13th. Hunter Parsons 14th. Braden Black starting 15th. Got Nicholas Rolstad 16th. Jonathan Thompson 17th. Travis Paul 18th. And Joshua McKinney starting last but not least.
Yeah, Man, I hope the racing continues like that. Really, really clean until the end. That's you can't ask for more than that.
We are now waiting for these cars to move and start pacing. Only one pace lap just because of how big Daytona is. So during that, these drivers just got to take a big, deep breath. Be thinking about their game plan. And they are off as we're going to start pacing.
There we go. We're headed into turn 3 right now.
We still had it rewinded from the replay. So here we go. Getting set.
I'll be coming off of turn 4, and that pace car will slip on off.
We do have a thing. The thing on the top of your screen, it's going to be like a black bar. When that turns red, that means that they're going to be going.
There it goes.
Here we
So
go.
it's all in the hands of the green. Oh, man. Green flag out early here tonight.
You do
We
got to
didn't wait
remember.
for anything.
I mean, I was used to Talladega with that long start-finish line, even past the tri-oval, but we're green here, and Brandon Roderick is going to take an early lead. But quick to form is the high side, Corey Deal. And that 44 is about to his quarter. It looks like the 93 is going to clear the high side.
And if these heat races are anything like the actual Daytona duels, traditionally, one heat is very calm, the other very, very intense. So maybe this is the intense one. The other one was so calm, man, all the top drivers were there, it seemed like. And so hopefully this one was just as good as that outside line. I'll tell you what, has more momentum on the first lap than the first heat did. And the outside line, oh no, did not lead that lap there. Brandon Roderick led that first lap by 4/1000ths of a second over Corey Deal.
Right, this is close racing. That high side has given Brandon Roderick a run for his money, but Corey Deal has not been able to get the nose. I think on this back straightaway, he's going to get the nose. There we go.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to get clear. Maybe he's got a really good push right now. He does not get clear. And you'll see that bottom line just sneak ahead again. But keep in mind, off that back stretch, or off the turn, they'll have the momentum. Well, I say that, but the pusher there got a little wiggly. And so coming to 13 to go this time by, that inside line continues to lead.
Right, and that's key to that pusher. Curtis Critchley is doing a great job pushing Brandon Roderick. That's going to be the key to winning this heat race, is who is going to be willing to push you.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Corey Deal sitting there on that outside line trying everything he can, but that inside line is just strong. Stronger than I thought it would be. I'll tell you what, Brandon Roderick making me want some Dunkin' Donuts, that's for sure.
Well, the thing is about Corey Deal is that he only has almost 50% control over what's going to happen to him, because he also needs to rely on that 54 of Travis Turnmeyer to give him a good push and get him out front.
Yeah, and that's why it's so important for those guys that qualified in the top 5. You know, they're sitting there looking at this, finding out who the good pushers are, because I'm telling you, it makes a huge difference. If you have a good pusher that knows what he's doing and can really push good, not leaving too big of a gap, dragging the brake perfectly, it can really make a difference in your race. We're 3 wide back here.
3 wide, making it. He's making his way up through the field. That is, I believe, the 48 of Grayson Scott, and he fits in to the high side.
Yeah, he got booted out quick, though.
And there's contact. And do they save it? They do. Like you said, the trucks are very easy to save. And we stay green. But that is going to separate the field tremendously.
Yeah, what that'll do is it create a rubber band effect where everybody is spread it out, but once they come back together, they're going to have nowhere to go, and it will get intense as this field groups back up to one pack. But until then, take a breather after that one, gather up your stuff, and get ready to make another run because it's coming.
Yeah, that had to have been stressful for some of the drivers behind that incident. So they're getting themselves back together after that one.
I tell you what it did. It hurt the outside line of Corey Deal and Travis Turnmeyer, but they themselves have gathered it back up. And in fact, Corey Deal led that lap on that outside line. So just like that, things changed really quickly here.
And we will see if he may potentially take the lead on this back straightaway. The high side always gets the best momentum on the back straightaway.
And just like I was saying earlier, now the...
Oh, no.
Oh, there they go. Yep. Nicholas. And the 00 there. You got all kind of trucks involved in here.
And we stay green, though.
Yeah, as long as they're down there in the inside or the infield and they're not in any potential danger, they're going to keep it green.
That is disappointing for the people that that were involved in that. I believe that was the 03. And there's an even bigger wreck.
The 93 is involved in that. He's upside on his roof. Wow, that's at least half the field, if not more, involved in that. That did include our leader, Brandon Roderick. Oh, he's pushing somebody here. I
feel like the only person that didn't get involved in that is Curtis Critchley, and you'll see why here in this wreckage replay. Watch that 27 of Curtis Critchley. He's gonna do some X Games mode type stuff here.
We'll take a look here at the 48. Keep your eye on the 48. Oh. Gives a good shove to the 54.
Here we go.
And that's what started.
And just able to escape it. There we go. Curtis Critchley. He turns left and prays and gets zero contact from anybody.
Wow. And the 93 almost made it through there after being involved in the initial contact. But he just gets tore up, and there's, like I said, over half the field. Everybody's in that except Curtis.
Wow. And then there goes the 93 on his litter, on his side.
Yeah, he pops back over on his wheels here as he hits the apron. Well, it gets hit too, but...
With that banking, it looked like he was floating almost.
Doing a Michael Jackson tribute, that's for sure, sliding like he was.
But with that being said, Curtis Critchley actually was the only driver not to have made contact, except for maybe the people who were involved in the previous incidents and fell behind. But majority of the field was involved in that one.
Curtis is out there singing all by myself. I mean, he is lonely out there. I mean, it's a good thing for him. That's where he wants to be, all by himself out there in the front. But my goodness, to get there, it took, I'm counting 15 cars or 15 trucks involved in this.
And we got people heading onto pit road. I'm sure people have tons of damage after that one. Derek Fulton, Jay Jensen, Corey P. Miller, Travis Paul, John Ernst, Brandon Roderick, Keith Keen Taylor, Jonathan Thompson, all the people who were involved in that previous incident. Not all of them, but majority of them have gone onto pit road.
Yeah, Corey Deal even. That was the leader on the outside line. He's showing a lap down right now. Nicholas Rolstead also a lap down. That's the way it goes sometimes.
Yeah, that is probably the biggest heat race wreck I've ever seen.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I hate it for all these guys that were sitting there leading the race, and now some of them find themselves a lap down after having to tow. Oh, man, we got Matthew Baker sitting there in the second spot, right behind Curtis. Derek in the 47 in third. Jay Jensen in fourth. And Heath Snyder rounding out your top five.
Right, and they are probably the people right now. I believe Derek Fulton and Jay Jensen went into the pits, but right now Matthew Baker and Heath Snyder are probably the people on the track right now, besides Curtis Critchley, who got the least amount of damage. Actually, I do believe that the 5 and the 29 were the people that were in that first wreck where they ended up saving it but fell far behind. So that could have been destined for them to happen just so they can get back up front.
Oh yeah, and I've seen that several times, whether it's a fuel strategy or something like that. But you get caught up in something, and it actually turns out to benefit you like you could have never imagined. Seen that several times. That pace car lights are off, so we'll go green flag racing next time by. We're gonna have 5 laps to go. It's gonna be a 5-lap shootout. Can we just go ahead and give Curtis like a pass to the feature? I mean, come on. He's the only truck that wasn't in that. He's got to have some kind of get out of jail free card or something.
That is true. I mean, that was some wizard-like stuff to get through it, but it really wasn't. He turned left and prayed, but what you got to do.
That's what you got to do. So obviously, everybody has a fast repair for each heat race, and they'll have one for the feature as well. So that's why a lot of these trucks look as good as they do. I am seeing that Dustin Koffel, he is out of the race.
Wait, I think Dustin Koffel was in the last race.
Well, I apologize. It was just very coincidental. He said he just disconnected, so I thought he might have been a part of that and disconnected or something because he already used the fast repair, but just coincidental, I guess.
Still, a lot of people are pretty far behind and close to manually disconnecting. Hunter Parsons, Grayson Scott, Nicholas Rolstad, Corey P. Miller, Corey Deal, and Braden Black all are a lap down, and they have their work cut out for them.
And I am showing now that Corey Miller has disconnected, so he is out of the race. As we are green flag, we got 5 laps to go here. We don't have the full field as we got one car. Looks like he may have spun his tires and 71 is around. John Ernst in the 71 saved it somehow, but keeps going. Man, what in the world happened there?
Man, that was a crazy save by John Ernst, and we're side by side. The 5 car of Matthew Baker. He's getting a good push from, I believe that is Derek Fulton. And he's got the nose, Matthew Baker.
Yeah, but they don't have any help out there on that outside line, so I think that inside line is just going to go. I mean, they're starting to get some help there, but I think it's a little too late as you see that inside line really take off.
Right, Jonathan Thompson, he was thinking about it, but he goes back down. Hunter Parsons, though, that 0 car up top, he is trying to join them.
Yeah, I was just about to say, after being caught up in that wreck, Jay Jensen's back up here, but everybody was caught up in that wreck, so never mind on that one. But Curtis Critchley is your leader. We got 4 laps to go down in turn 1. Heath Snyder trying to make a run at it, see what he can do here.
There's Nicholas Rolstad. He's actually a lap down, but he still is up there, and he could play a role. And then we got the 93 of Brandon Roderick is also there.
Yeah, the 54 who was helping push that last time, that outside line, he's now in the transfer position in that 10th spot. And not too many trucks left, but still the ones that we do have left, they're still trying to make this top 10. Can't forget about that.
Right. And as you say that, Brandon Roderick gets into 10th. And now John Garrett is in 10th. It's going to be never changing as we have 3 to go, as the intensity is going to start picking up here. If it hadn't already, I mean, this has been a very exciting race.
Yeah, outside line's having some struggles here as they fall more and more back. I don't know exactly what's going on. They're starting to get some momentum up on the outside line on the backstretch, but they really fell back in the corner there. I was a little bit worried that maybe something had happened. Nevertheless, Matthew Baker making a run for it again on that outside line in turn 3, and everybody's seeming to be keeping it pretty gracious right now.
Yeah, they want to get to that feature for the chance for $300, or even if you finish 5th, still $100. And
Oh, yeah.
if you do enter into the race, but you don't finish 1 through 5th, but you have the lowest instant count, that's also $70. So many chances to make money here in the iSSL Superspeedway Series. Now 2 to go.
So if you're running 3rd or 4th here, do you want to make a kind of aggressive move on the last lap, try to win this thing, or are you just content making the race?
I mean, I wouldn't risk it, me personally, just because something crazy could happen and you could end up messing your race up and falling behind and not getting in that transfer spot, which we do have the final lap, and I've seen that before where the person in first in the heat race tries to make a risky move and they end up finishing 11th or 12th, which means that they didn't make it to the feature.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We'll see what happens here. As you said, 1 lap to go. Matthew Baker on the outside trying to make it happen, but it doesn't look like it's going to make it happen. It looks like he's okay with it, though, as he's in that transfer position in one of them. We got a mover out here on the outside line. Oh, he may have just cost himself. No, he drops back in line. He's okay for now.
Right now, for 10th, just wanted to point this out, Broderick is in 10th. Now John Garrett is in 10th if he can stay ahead of Travis Turnmeyer. And there we go. John Garrett takes the 10th spot. And Curtis Critchley wins the race.
Yeah, Travis Turnmeyer misses this race after being in the top 4 there for most of it. John Ernst also missed it. Hunter Parsons missed it. And on down the line, people getting caught up in wrecks and other stuff. But Curtis Critchley takes on feature number 2, or heat number 2. And we'll move on here in about a minute to our feature event.
Right, but just pointing out, Curtis Critchley, he avoided the big one of the only ones to do so, and that helped him get the win. And he now advances to the feature as we are gridding for, and we will get the starting lineup presented by Fort Worth Screen Printing. And before we go green, make sure to share the stream on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. You can do it on all 3 platforms. There's going to be a button, like you can host on Twitch, share on YouTube. There's going to be one. And then on Facebook, you can also share it. So here we go. Got the starting lineup. Dude Conrad in the 8 machine starting first. Aaron Smith the second, starting second. Matthew Teeley in the 04 starting third. And Jerry Banty starting 4th.
Yeah, starting 5th, we got Justin Botello in the 38. Starting 6th will be Jimmy Crow in the 16. Starting 7th, we got Curtis Critchley in the 27. And starting P8 tonight will be the Brandon Cagnon machine, number 83.
We got Matthew Baker in the 5, starting 9th. 10th is Raymond Ridenour, the 2nd in that 78. Starting 11th is Heath Snyder. And from Canada, we got Colin Williams starting 12th.
Starting 13th, number 07 of Derek Fulton. Starting 14th, Jason Nethery in the 34. 15th will be 43 of Joshua McKinney with 2. And 16th with Christian Sanford in the 35 truck.
We got 17th with Down South Racing. Got Jonathan Thompson. Starting 18th is Kyle Harbin. 19th, Jay Jensen. And rounding out your top 20 is Crystal King.
Yeah, 21st will be Keith King Taylor in the 08. The 88 of Carl Stetton will be in that 22nd position. Brandon Roderick in the 93, start 23rd. James Batzer, who we saw barely make it in there in the number 7 machine, will start 24th, and rolling off 25th in that final position will be the 66 of John Garrett, making his way in that Heat 2 event down to the wire there. Man, that's crazy. But nevertheless, there's your top 25. They all have a chance for 300 plus here tonight. And so It could be any one of these drivers. Let us know on Facebook who you're shouting out, who you're pulling for, and who you're going to ask to pay for lunch tomorrow.
And before we go, Green, I just want to again thank tonight's race. It is sponsored by Fort Worth Screen Printing. Since 1997, Fort Worth Screen Printing has provided quality screen printing services to promotional products, distributors, marketing firms, advertising agencies, and users throughout the United States. Fort Worth Screen Printing is the official apparel supplier of Mike Harmon Racing and Rick Ware Racing, two big NASCAR teams. And if you are in need of quality screen printed t-shirts, please look them up on Facebook at Fort Worth Screen Printing or find them online at fwscreen.com. I mean, you could want Petey the Raccoon on a shirt. You could want something else. If you want anything on a shirt, contact Fort Worth Screen Printing.
That's exactly right. That pace car, he's going to duck on off on the pit road there, you see on your screen. Green flag is out for this 30-lap feature at Daytona.
And Dude Conrad is going to get the early lead, and he's going to clear the 70 of Aaron Smith II on the top. For now, creeping back up is that high side. There's a great view of the entire field, moving around, trying to get to their spot that they want to be. Maybe lining up with some teammates.
Trying to just hold things together here on lap one. For some reason, lap one is always so intense for me. And I think it's just because anything can happen. You don't know what's going to happen around you. You don't know who's going to try to do something poor judgment-wise. Go ahead.
And speaking of doing something, Matthew T. Lee and John Garrett are going to clear Dude Conrad and take the lead. So like you said, they were doing something. And they also tried to move down, but that didn't go well. But good save by Dude Conrad.
Yeah, it looked like the 70 tried to go down there with him. Didn't realize Dude was still down there and about took them both out. Dude's got some heavy damage on his right front now from that contact. So he's going to have to stay in this draft if he wants to compete. As it looks like, even with the draft, he's kind of slowing down the trucks behind him, you can see.
Yeah, that hurt for Dude Conrad. He had the lead, and he did get cleaned. He got fair and square passed by Matthew Lee and Justin Botello. But then we saw some other drivers try to make a move, and that didn't go well. And Dude Conrad is going to have to make his way up through the field to try to get back to where he was.
Yeah, but he's got the 78 right now in front of him, so maybe he'll be all right as long as he's got a truck right in front of him. He's got Raymond Rich Noah right in front of him, and that will really help things out with the aero push. Other than that, I don't see him getting out by himself and trying to lead this thing until he gets a fast repair later on. I'm sure he's wanting to save it, though, as it could be a long 30 laps if we start to get wrecking here.
Right now, the high side has just fallen behind from the bottom. Matthew T. Lee, the leader.
Yeah, that inside line really strong. Go ahead.
You got to see who is going to want to go up. But the inside line, the reason why is they've got so many people down there because everybody collected after that little near incident.
Well, I don't think anybody from the top five is going to jump up here. I think they're content with where they are right now in the race. I think it's going to have to come from behind. As you see, more and more trucks from behind, like I'm talking about, is lining up on that outside line. I think that's where the momentum is going to be starting, and that's what it's going to take to get up there. And then they do slowly start to creep up there. Colin Williams in that 17, slowly making his way back.
Right, 17 of Colin Williams. He's trying to get up there. He's now working on Jimmy Crow Jr., who is in 5th.
You can see them. They're making about a truck a lap here, or a truck every half lap. Close and inching closer to the lead. They're 3 wide back here. Trying not to wreck. Wow, at the bottom of your screen. Look at that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the 2408 and the 03. But they do finally get it figured out as they're not 3 wide anymore.
Yeah, look at Colin Williams right there. Slowly inching his way forward. I don't know what they're doing back here, trying to make a third line up there. That doesn't work here at Daytona, boys. Might want to calm down here. It's only lap 5 of 30.
35 car of Christian Sanford and also Brandon Gagnon. But I believe they're just going to fall behind. No, some others go up there as well.
What are we doing?
Woo.
Oh, yes, sir. We're about to cause a wreck is what we're about to do.
Oh, my gosh. There you go. Somebody else goes up there to help.
There it is.
No!
Oh, yeah.
And caution is going to come out.
Way too early for that. Yeah, and that's what happens when you get 3 wide is Atlee gets that wreckage replay up for you. You just can't do that here at Daytona. 3 wide, especially on lap 5, does not work. All it takes is one little car not to be perfectly in line, and that's what can happen as we go back and take a look at it here on your screen. There it is.
Got the wreckage replay. This is going to be from the view of Brandon Roderick.
Who led a lot of that second heat, if you remember, before that big wreck. And you can see right there, they're already 3 wide.
Here it is. This is from, so watch Curtis Critchley and Christian Sander. And he's 3 wide with Dude Conrad. And then here comes Brandon Gagnon making a little race car sandwich.
And I think that was more of the outside truck coming down more than it probably should have there.
And then that's what it's going to start. We'll see that again. Watch that. I'm not quite sure who that is.
See, if you're 3 wide, you want to be up there where the other 2 trucks were. You want to be up in that high groove, not in the middle groove like he is. See, he needs to be more near the wall like the other 2 trucks behind him are. But he just comes down thinking maybe he was clear, possibly. I don't know.
Yeah, I believe that was the case. His spotter probably told him that he was clear, but wasn't quite. There you go. That's Jay Jensen.
Yeah, trying to get that draft off the 2 trucks in front of him as well. So, yeah, and that's part of it. You're trying to make things happen. But the 29 just had nowhere to go. I mean, there was a truck underneath him. And so that sends the 32 right around.
There you go. See sparks flying.
Definitely not as big as our crash in heat number 2, but still took out a good 5 or 6 trucks there. And from race control, that was on Jay Jensen, we are hearing.
Right. I mean, that was a crazy incident right there. But we're going to do a flyby through the field to see where your favorite driver is. And make sure to tell us on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook who you're pulling for.
Yeah, Jimmy Crow. I will say we've got a Facebook shout out. Johnny Baker says, way to go, Matthew. I think he's referring to Matthew Baker in the 5 truck. He did make it into the feature. Started pretty good position there.
Thing is, we do have 2 Matthews, Matthew T. Lee and Matthew Baker, but I do believe you're right. He was probably referring to Matthew Baker.
Well, Matthew T. Lee is our leader, so you could be right. Yeah, it could be talking about him.
Take a look at some of the other people. There's Curtis Critchley. He won one of the heat races. Jonathan Thompson. King. John Garrett. And the rest of the field.
Oddly enough, we got some really good drivers back here. We just showed 70 of Aaron Smith II. We showed Dude Conrad back there, James Batzer, a lot of good guys back there. Brandon Gagnon even, who we just saw was involved in that. Usually we see them more towards the front. And so it'll be interesting to see as they come back through the field. We are coming to 1 to go this time. When we do get that green flag, we will have 21 laps to go as we take the green flag.
And we got on the front row again, Matthew T. Lee and Justin Botello.
Yeah, 38 truck looking good on that high line. See what he can do. See if they can actually make it work on the high line this time. I never could seem to get it done. After the first two got in front of everybody, nobody else could seem to really do anything on that high line, and I'm sure it didn't help when chaos was happening behind them. But I expect the outside line to be a little bit more competitive here on this restart.
Yep, let's see. I'm hoping to see another crazy move like we saw last restart, where a bunch of people move up to the high side, get a ton of momentum, and then take the lead.
We got Seth Groover over here on Facebook saying, "Bring home the money, Jimmy Crow." And Jimmy, if you do win, I'm telling you, Seth's going to give you a call later, and he's going to expect half of that money. But there goes the pace car. The green flag is back out here at Daytona. Matthew T. Lee leading this field. And I'm just interested to see if the outside line makes a run for it this time. We've been so used to the inside line keeping it steady here on this feature event. But I expect that outside line to really make a run here. Oh, they're coming kind of crazy there in the back already, trying to make stuff happen. We'll see what happens here as they coming out of turn 2 onto the backstretch.
Wow, hell, I held my breath there. They were almost 3 wide, and we had just restarted. And there we go. Justin Botello is going to take the lead now. That's going to now put the 17 of Colin Williams as the new leader of the high side.
Yeah, and you'll see that as that high side line does get right there ahead of everybody, the leader will duck down, and that really breaks that momentum of the high line. So it takes about a half a lap or more even sometimes to get the momentum back up to speed on that high line. That's one of the disadvantages of being up there. But at the same time, boy, you got speed up there coming off of turns. Watch the outside line on your screen right now as they come off of turn 2 here on the backstretch. Just watch the momentum. There they go. Right there. Boom, that push, and you'll see them. There they go up to 3rd position, and he'll get all the way almost a second there before going down into the turn.
We do have some people on YouTube. Seth Groover shouting out Jimmy Crow, and Nick Ma cheering for Colin Willems. And both are in the top 5.
Let us know who you're shouting for. We'll give you a shout out just for calling somebody out. I always know when I'm driving, I like to know that people are on here supporting me.
And right now, that high side is beginning to fall apart.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on in the feature. We saw the heat races. They were really able to make it work up there, but not seeing much of that here in the feature. I don't know if it's people don't want to push the issue so early in the race. I say early, but we're coming up on halfway here in a few short laps. But really, like you said, it's falling apart. Not much organization, as I like to say. There's a little bit of airspace in between each truck. As you look at the low side, there's not as much space. You got people tucked in behind people. Only got 3 trucks out there. That doesn't help their situation out either.
Yep, I think right now, I say it every time, around halfway, this is the time where people realize, hey, I'm not going to make it to the end if I wreck myself, so I'm going to need to save my car. And you're going to see people, I believe they're going to start getting single file.
I think the exact opposite is going to happen, Allie. I think we hit that halfway mark and people are going to say, oh, it's time to go. Let's go. That's what I hope is going to happen either. Is we see some takers on that high line. They start to get that momentum back. I tell you what, Colin Williams creeping ever so slightly back up to the lead.
Right, he's gotten up to Matthew T. Lee in second, just a little bit more, and he'll be competing for the lead.
Yeah, right beside Jerry Banty in the 18 there. now, but I think on the backstretch, if they get the good push, no, they didn't get a good push. They got really disorganized. That's going to send them further back as they're three
Ooh,
wide
three
further.
wide.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, and you're going to see that outside line just
Oh,
dissipate.
no. You can't do that at Daytona. Oh, they save it, though.
And everybody continues to save it. They're still wiggling back there, but okay for now. That outside line is history after that. It's going to take some real unity between these drivers to get them back together after that.
Right. Again, three wide is so hard to do at a track like Daytona, considering how skinny the track is.
Yeah, and that's twice now. We've seen them get all the way up to the third or second position and just can't make it happen. For whatever reason, that time things seem to get a little squirrely, but we've seen it, like I say, a couple times where they get up there, but they just can't get it done. I think as the laps wind down, and we are coming up to halfway this time by, there's some momentum happening out there on the outside right now.
There is. We're seeing him get up there. And they're side by side with Matthew T. Lee in second, or almost.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. All right, they're there, same spot.
Oh.
I thought Matthew was going to jump up there, but he stayed low.
That could be, though, the decision of the race for him. If he can move up there and then take the lead over Justin Botello, that could be the move of the race for him.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry, I was listening to race control there, but yeah, Colin Williams made it all the way up there beside Matthew T. Lee, but just couldn't get it done again. And here he goes, back on the outside, trying to get up with Matthew, but no, just stays right beside Jerry Banty in that 18 machine. And I think off of turn 4 here, I think he's got a shot at it. If they can stay together, keep that momentum going. And that's what we talked about earlier about learning who can push really well. I don't know. It seems to be a struggle right now out of that 25 machine of staying with him. Or the 35 of Christian Sanford seems to be struggling staying with Colin. As you see right there, they didn't stay together. I don't know if it's something Colin's doing or something Christian's doing, but either way, can't seem to be held together really well as we got 3 wide for the lead.
Oh, and making some contact. Looks like the person behind Justin Botello made some contact, and here comes Colin Williams with 3 wide, and Colin Williams, 83, Brandon Gagnon makes contact, and they're able to keep it calm.
And that's Christian Sanford out there in the 35 getting hung out by Colin. Colin made it right to the lead, and he left his drafting buddy out there all alone. And sometimes you have to do that. If you're wanting to take that lead, you gotta drop off the driver that helps you get there. Colin definitely did that, but he's also in the lead, so I can't fault him too much.
Yep, Colin Williams. What a move. That was a very crazy turn of events. I was worried that something bad was going to happen, but we stay green.
Yeah, very good heads up move by every single driver that was around that. It's so easy to get caught up in the moment and make a mistake, but everybody did good there. I'm proud of them.
But here comes Justin Botello on that high side, getting a great run, and he's going to retake that lead that just a couple laps ago was his before he got it taken away from him, and there he goes. He's back where he was. Matthew
T. Lee now trying to take it back on the outside. He gets a nose ahead right before the inside line takes it, but I think on the outside here, coming off the turn, they're going to be right back to the lead.
Yeah, Matthew T. Lee, he's been up front for the majority of this race, so see if he can take the lead.
There he does.
UT Lee, new leader.
And Christian Sanford, who we just saw get shuffled all the way back, he is now sitting there on that outside line, ready for his opportunity at the lead.
It's crazy how quickly things change at Superspeedways. I was calling them mood swings just because at one time you can be falling, getting left out to dry, and the next you can be leading this race.
Yeah, and we see the second Matthew sitting there in the top 5's position in that 5 truck. Just pushing right now, Christian Sanford, trying to get him to the lead. And he's doing a pretty good job of it right now as they head into turn 3. He might have a nose advantage on Matthew. Oh, not not enough to clear him, but almost there. As we're coming up to 10 laps to go this time by. That intensity starting to pick it up. You can feel it.
Oh! Contact.
78 of Raymond Rittenauer. He is in the infield grass right now. Saved it. No caution. We stay green.
That was a close one, as that's going to do the little rubber band effect. The cars, and looks like the 20 of Justin Botello is going to move up to the high side.
I think he's easily going to get it here down the backstretch. Oh, yeah. He might even wait and let Christian Sanford come with him. He does.
And
the inside line is gone right now.
And more. Looks like the 5 and the 93 and... Oh, but looks like the 5 stays up there because he didn't have enough room to fit in.
And just like that, the outside line is now in trouble as we coming to 9 to go this time. Man, this is going to be a good finish. I can tell they're 3-4 wide. Oh, yeah, that's not going to work.
And caution is going to come out for the second time tonight.
Jimmy Crow involved in that. Brandon Gagnon involved in that. A lot of cars, or trucks, I should say, caught up in that as Atlee gets his wreckage replay going on here. Go back and take a look at what exactly happened in that triangle.
All right. Here we go. Watch that 17 of Colin Willems. He's got the 25 of Jason Nethery outside of him.
Yeah, hearing Jason got a little loose there, and there he did. It comes down on him.
Ooh.
And that's what started all this, yeah.
Yep, you see the contact made. Both of them, or they almost did, but then Nethery goes back up the track into Dude Conrad. Brandon Gagnon, Jimmy Crow involved. Jonathan Thompson.
Yeah, and it's so easy to look at it and say, well, why didn't he just turn left a little bit and not come back in front of everybody? Well, that's easy to say as you're watching it back in slow motion. It's a very difficult thing to do as you're driving at real time, full speed. Your instinct is to try to save it, and oftentimes that can get you in trouble, just like it just did for him.
So far this race, the highest speed that someone has gone, 199 miles per hour. Joshua McKinney at one point was 199 miles per hour.
I wonder, Atlee, what's the fastest you've ever gone in a car?
Me,
Maybe you shouldn't say. Is your dad listening? Maybe you shouldn't say.
Mid-80s, I'd say.
Mid-80s? My goodness, I'm calling the authorities. Who are you riding with?
Myself.
Oh, I apologize. 80 miles per hour. One time when I was in high school, don't ever do this, by the way, but one time I was in high school, I went over 100 miles per hour in my mom's Honda Accord. Mom, I apologize if you're listening. Thank you for loving me.
So a fun fact, my dad, who is controlling everything tonight, he grew up in South Dakota, and the speed limit in South Dakota is on the interstate is 80 miles per hour.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes me feel a little bit better. I think it should be 80 everywhere, to be honest with you. I mean, isn't that what we already go anyways?
I mean, pretty on the highway or interstate, I'd say everybody already goes 80.
Exactly. Why is it not already 80? I don't understand. But
this super speedway racing looks exactly what it looks like on the interstate.
Well, honestly, yeah. Except the drivers on the interstate do a lot dumber things sometimes, in my opinion. I would rather go 4 wide here at Daytona than be around some of these guys that drive on the interstate. In fact, I remember one time I was going to work, and you know how they have the concrete barriers in the inside.
I do.
Um, yeah, so you know what I'm talking about. So we were going around a turn, and this was like 5:30 in the morning. This guy, we're going into the turn slowly, slowly, slowly. He just goes straight. He doesn't turn at all. I think he fell asleep. Like I said, it was 5:30 in the morning. I think he fell asleep, goes straight into these concrete barriers, and bounces off of it. Almost gets up on two wheels. It was craziness. Of course, I didn't want to be late to work, so I kept on trucking.
It's like on YouTube, we have some shout outs before we go back green. David Allen says, let's go. John Garrett, number 66. He's in 5th place, so he's got a chance. We got Nicole Nethery. Says, come on, Jason Nethery. Jason Nethery. Let's see. He's in 18th currently on pit road. We'll see if he can make a comeback. And Nick Ma, this entire race, has been cheering for Colin Willems, who's in 19th. And was involved in that previous incident. We'll see if he can make a comeback.
Yeah, and just some shout outs that we've seen on Facebook so far. Got Bill Watkins Jr. saying, let's go Mason Dixon drivers. Dan Gallant, I apologize if I'm pronouncing that wrong, saying Colin Willems riding the brake on that top line. That's how you do it around here. Seth Groover calling out Dude Conrad, making his way through the field, and then immediately below that has a sad face because he was caught up in that wreck. And so, yeah, sitting good. Matthew Baker, keep it up, buddy. Cody Baker says, a lot of shout-outs here tonight on Facebook. Keep them coming. We like that. We'd like to know that you're not only watching the race with us, but you're involved in it with us.
And so far, starting on the front row, we got Justin Botello and Christian Sanford.
Yeah, that's right. We're going to have 5 laps to go. Watch that pace car out in front of your screen. He's going to slide into pit road this time. There he goes. And green flag will be out here.
And green flag is out at Daytona. Oh, I thought he was going to immediately move down, but he stays up there. And there he goes. He waited. I do believe that you can't pass before you pass the start and finish line. That's why he did that. But there he goes. Justin Botello moves down, and that now puts the 5 of Matthew Baker of the leader as the high side.
Yeah, you're exactly right. You have to wait until you cross that start-finish line to go down. And so good for him. He thought about it just in time to slide back up there. Thought he spun his tires there at first, but you're right. He just acknowledging a rule and wanting to stay within the rules. As we got some moving and shaking in the back. People are not content staying back there for sure.
Right, they want to get up there because... Ooh, don't look now. 5 to go. I just now realized that this race has flown by. And oh, near miss. Contact. Save. Yeah, they saved it. Woo, that was close.
Somehow, barely, they saved it. We got some shout outs real quick. We got Matt Lee, Kurt Critchley, and Derek Fulton. All have support and love from Facebook. Outside line looking stronger here on the backstretch, making their way slowly to the front. You see they pull even with Justin Botello and maybe even clearing this time. No, not be able to clear.
But you know that they have the speed to do it. I don't know, maybe next couple laps maybe they could potentially clear.
Oh, got some beating and banging in the back, but everybody stays straight. Justin Botello trying to lead this lap over the 5 of Matthew Baker. He will.
All right, so that just proves how much momentum that high side has, how much potential it has.
Oh, yeah, it can be there in a hurry. Even though he's 2 cars back right now, he can get there in a hurry. Talking about Matthew Baker on that outside line in the 5 machine. Making a 3rd line up there is a couple of trucks. They're trying to make it happen. They know their laps are winding down. Only 2.5 here to go at Daytona.
And yep, we're 3 wide. This is, woo! That was close. And he's going to fall back in line, but we're still 3 wide, a little bit farther back. Uh-oh, Batzer makes contact, goes up in the wall, but he saves it. The field is getting shuffled out. This is getting intense. We're 3 wide up front.
2 laps to go, and there's no way they're making it around without a green or a checkered flag. Caution flag. I'm getting so excited I can't even talk, folks. There's no way they're making it around. We got, oh, there it is. There it is. There's a wreck in the back. No caution yet. 2 to go. No caution. Going to stay green. Yellow flag is now out.
Third caution
Whew.
of the night. You called it.
Take a breath at home, folks, as Atlas will get that wreckage replay up. Well, we got all kinds of trouble. There was beating and banging there for a while, but then finally somebody broke loose, and that took out a good 3 or 4 trucks. They were at the back of the pack, but still, nevertheless, let's take a look at it here.
Right. Watch that 08 of Keith Keen Taylor. So we're 3 wide between Jimmy Crow and I believe that's Colin Willems, and then the 34 of Jason Nethery. So that was when James Batzer hit the wall. Got people checking up and stuff, and they all 4 head into the wall. There we go. Crystal King is involved in that. Somebody just exiting pit road thought that they were going to have a leisurely drive back onto the track. Nope, they got contact.
That's a bad feeling there. You just came off pit road, and now you're sitting here involved in something that wasn't even had nothing to do with you.
Boom, right there. Yep, Jason Nethery thought he could have just a leisurely time off of pit road.
And here, you can go ahead.
Got a green, white checkered, but
yeah, our first green, white checkered hearing from race control. That was a racing incident, no fault to anybody. A little bit of net code there, so no fault. Looking at some drivers through the field here. That is our top 3 we're looking at. Justin Botello, Christian Sanford, Matthew Baker in the 5, Brandon Roderick in the 4th position, and John Garrett in the 66, running out your top 5. We'll continue to roll through the field to see where your top driver is right now.
Continue on with the shout outs, because there's always been a saying that the home team always has the advantage considering all the fan noise. So I feel like if a driver knows that they have fans rooting for them, then that could give them some motivation to keep on going, even if it looks like they might not be able to win. Give them some motivation to just keep on going.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're sitting there in 18th position and you know you've got fans pulling for you, you want to get up there and at least get a top 10. You know, you want it to be the best you can be here with an audience.
Yep, got a saying, do it for the fans. Sure, some people are probably doing that. So far, I feel like the most mentions had to have been Colin Willems. He's been the fan favorite throughout tonight.
Yeah, if you are pulling for Colin Williams, he is having some trouble here right now. He has a penalty, supposedly passing under caution. That is a common occurrence here on iRacing when it'll tell you to stay behind somebody, but they're nowhere to be found, so you have nothing to do. And so he's arguing his case right now to race control to try to not get penalized. Just wanted to keep the fans updated on that. We'll see where he falls on the restart.
And I do want to mention, if this racing looks fun and you're like, hey man, I could do that, and you want to participate in this, make sure to contact Ian Martin in the iRacing Superstock League, because every week all you got to pay is $25 to enter, and you have a chance to win $300, potentially $370 with the lowest incident count. So this is some fun racing, as you've seen all throughout tonight. So if you are interested and want to be on a broadcast on Intensity Broadcasting, then make sure to visit Ian Martin and iRacing Superstock League and enter in their next race.
Yeah, and if you're in the market for some screen printing, if you need some shirts, some hats, hoodies, whatever it may be, I know some guys who can help you out with that. It's Fort Worth Screen Printing. They can help you out with any of those needs. I know that they are the official sponsor of Rick Ware Racing and another team in NASCAR as well that Atlee can remind me of
Mike
in just a
Harmon
moment.
Racing.
Mike Harmon Racing, that's right. But nevertheless, I know these guys. I have spoken with a couple of their, I guess, staffers, you would say. And there's some pretty cool guys, and they can get anything done that you need to, even if it's unconventional. They can work with whatever you need.
Man, I would love to have a shirt with Petey's face on it. That would be wonderful.
It's better than Grumpy Cat.
You want Grumpy Cat? Contact Fort Worth Screen Printing.
No, don't contact them for that. Nobody needs to have Grumpy Cat shirt. No. Oh, man. As I say that, guys, we're coming down to a green, white, checkered here. Fans, get on their feet. Here we go. Green flag is back in the air. Justin Patello on that outside line takes that green flag.
With 3 wide.
Oh, yeah. Craziness going on in the back.
Man, these drivers, they want that $300. They can taste it. They just got to work for it.
Yeah, Justin Patello leading that inside line. He's got Christian Sanford right behind him, but Brandon Roderick in that 93 Dunkin' Donuts truck, he's trying to take that inside or that outside line to the front. Doesn't have much help right now. It seems to be all inside line as some help comes to the top 5, and Matthew Baker jumps up there trying to make something happen here.
Yeah, this is getting down to the nitty-gritty. Next time by, it's going to be one to go. Who else is going to go up to the high side? If you do that, that could be the winning move for you.
Yeah, I think Christian Sanford, if he's wanting to win this, I think they might be teammates here, but if he's wanting to win this, he's got to jump up there before somebody else does it. You see, Brandon Roderick trying to make it work up there with the 5.
Oh, and with 3 wide. But if a caution comes out now, they're just going to race on down.
Yeah, Curtis Chrisley is actually leading that outside line now. The 27, he's got a great run.
Yep, they're side by side.
He may have it down here on the backstretch if he can get some help. Matthew Baker trying to make it 3 wide on the outside line. I don't think it's going to work out there, but nevertheless, Christian Sanford just pushing Justin Patello right now.
All right, here we go. What's going to happen? Justin Patello has the nose.
Curtis Chrisley on that outside line trying to give it one last run, coming on the turn forward, get some momentum.
Oh, we got
side to the line. They're wrecking behind them. Who's it going to be? It looks like it's going to be Justin Patello got it.
What a finish. Looks like that was, I can't see the gap. Looks like.
Wow.
100th, looks like.
Yeah, 100th of a second. Whoo!
Boom. Look at that.
Curtis Chrisley. Where did he come from? He was sitting there in like 6th spot with 2 laps to go. Gets that 2nd spot. 3rd is Christian Sanford. 4th, Matthew T. Lee. 5th is Derek Fulton.
That's like a perfect picture right there. You got the people wrecking behind. There's
one car
somebody
upside down
flipping.
back there.
Yeah, this is like the perfect. I call this iRacing artwork. This is a beautiful screenshot right here.
That's right. Ooh, man.
Justin Patello, he's probably going to burn it down, and yeah, there we go. Love to see it. Through the infield. At least he doesn't slide through the grass like Austin Dillon.
That's right.
Here he goes, and Justin Patello just burning it out. What a finish! $300, and if he did get the least amount of instant counts, he also is going to get $370.
Man, what a good finish there. I mean, it was clean. It wasn't clean near the back, but it was clean up front. And nobody had to beat and bang their way to the lead. They just won it fair and square there. And it was close. Curtis Critchley, very good racing there at the end. He could have easily tried to give it to Justin, but he chose not to. As we had some help here from the 66 of John Garrett. They're going to do burnouts together. Not the best duo burnouts I've ever seen, but
both of them are in Fort Worth screen printing cars.
That's right.
So repping the sponsor of the race. Yep, Justin Patello. And we're going to just look at the finishing order before take a little break as we wait for everybody to get into the booth. So show the finishing order.
And right now we're just seeing Justin Patello just having the time of his life out there. He just won $300. There's your results. We got Justin Patello out front, Curtis Critchley in second, third Christian Sanford, fourth Matthew T, and Derek, as we said before, Fulton will be in that fifth position. The sixth, Brandon Roderick made it all the way back to sixth. John Garrett in seventh, Heath Snyder in eighth. Ninth is Carl Staten, and 10th is Matthew Baker.
And we got 11th, James Batzer. 12th with Down South Racing, got Jonathan Thompson. 13th was Raymond Ridenour the second. 14th was Joshua McKinney. Rounding out your top 15 was Aaron Smith the second. 16th was Jay Jensen. 17th, Brandon Gagnon. 18th was Colin Willems. 19th, Jason Nethery. 20th, Crystal King. 21st, Kyle Harbin. 22nd, Keith Taylor. 23rd was Jimmy Crow Jr., 24th, Dude Conrad, and 25th, Jerry Banty.
Yeah, some trucks definitely had a better night than others here, but hey, they did make it into the feature. Speaking of making it places, how about Christian Sanford in that third position? Let's pull him into the booth and see what he's got to say about this race. Hey, Christian, this is Dustin Atley in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Yes, I got a copy.
Hey, Christian, man, what a show we saw tonight from everybody. Well, take us back to 2 laps to go, man. What was your thought process, and how did you see it play out those last couple laps?
Yeah, my main goal there was just not to wreck. I'm just once J-Bo got in front of me, I was just focused on pushing him, just not getting taken out. So I'll definitely be happy with the third place finish. It was a good run.
Absolutely, man. So you were happy and content staying right behind Justin, or was you going to try something if you could there?
Originally, I was thinking about it, but I saw the momentum on the high side, and I felt like something bad could have happened. So, yeah, I mean, as long as I was pushing, say, in the top 5, I would have been fine.
I got you. Well, fair enough, fair enough. Do you have anybody you would like to shout out tonight? Any supporters out there?
Maybe just Ian for hosting these. I really enjoy doing these every Friday. Not really on much teams or anything, but definitely enjoy doing these all the time.
Well, Christian, we enjoyed having you in the booth with us, man. I enjoyed seeing that finish. Congratulations again on a third place spot tonight and taking home some cash on a Friday night. Not bad, huh?
Yes, I really enjoy getting those.
Yes, sir. We'll talk to you next time.
All right, thanks a lot, guys.
All right, so let's pull in second place. Curtis, you got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Well, Curtin the Outlaw, you had a great race. We're up front for a lot. You did win heat race number 1, but in the end, ended up finishing second. What went through your head, through your eyes throughout this race?
Basically, we kind of got on the bad foot. I managed to get shuffled back at the beginning, and then it was just kind of a challenge to get back up to the front, but we avoided all the big wrecks, and we managed to make the right calls in the final restart. I thought we weren't going to be able to get into a top 5 position on the final restart, but somehow just the seas parted, and we were able to make our way to the front, Matt Lee and Derek and I got to thank them so much. They're such great teammates and such good pushers.
Right, we saw y'all working together. Any other things you'd like to mention?
Yes, I'd like to mention Beeley Farms, Shenandoah Shine, Phantom GFX, Critchy Gallant Engineering, Seven Seas Cruises, Pavement Marking LLC, Orange Shoes Photography, LL Esports. I can't thank them enough. These guys are awesome that support me.
That's awesome. And you know what else is awesome? You got $180 in your pocket, man. Congratulations.
Woo! I love 180. I'll take second any day.
Right. Hopefully we'll talk to you next week. Last but not least, pull in Justin.
Hey, Justin, this is Dustin Atley in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Oh, yes, I do. Good to see y'all.
Well, good to see you, man. First of all, congratulations on the win. Second of all, take us back through those last couple of laps and tell us how not only did you get out front, but you stayed there. That was the crazy part about it.
I didn't expect to lead so much and get so lucky there, racing it up at front. I owe everything to Christian. He was pushing me so much those last couple laps, and even before that, I owe him the race, to be honest with you. He pushed me out the whole way, so that was fun.
Yeah, well, this is the second or third time we've been interviewing you after the race. I'm starting to see a common trend here with you, Justin. Is this a trend that we can expect every single week?
So, man, this is fun. I'm enjoying this. I'm getting a little comfortable in the booth, man. Someone's going to get me here soon.
That's exactly. I might have to step down from the booth one time and give you a run for your money. I'm just kidding. But, man, for real, is there anybody you want to shout out tonight?
Shout out Fort Worth Screen Printing, Christian, for pushing me, for Splashing O Graphics, the whole Twitch channel, everybody, Justin Bo 20, everybody there. Thank you to them, and thank you guys for broadcasting.
Absolutely, Justin. Again, congratulations on another win here on the Superspeedway Series. And all I can say is we hope to talk to you again in the booth next week.
Yes, sir. I can't wait.
Yes, sir. Thank you. You have a great night, man.
Wow, what a great race here at Daytona. Thank you, everyone, for watching Intensity Broadcasting's coverage of the iRacing Superstock League Superspeedway Series, sponsored by Fort Worth Screen Printing. Look them up on Facebook at Fort Worth Screen Printing and find them online at fwscreen.com. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe to Intensity Broadcasting on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. And we really appreciate it, as we are trying to get to 1,000 followers on Facebook by April 22nd, which is Intensity Broadcasting's 1-year anniversary. I believe next broadcast we're going to have Original Rebels Racing League, which is always a good time. I believe last race we had with the Original Rebels Racing League, the Back to the Blue 150, had 1,000 viewers, so know y'all like the Original Rebels, so make sure to tune into that. I'm Atlee Atman Weiss. Thank you for watching. Over and out.